Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
All right, looks like we are live.
Woo, let's take a quick photo. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Got it.
Got it.
Okay. The only thing is I can hear my echo in my voice on Instagram because I'm both Zoom and Instagram, so I can hear it, but that's okay. That's not gonna bother me.
I can hear it too, but I don't know what we can do.
Maybe turn the volume down, but I don't want to do that because I want people to hear.
That's what I was going to say. Will people hear us if we turn it down?
Yeah, let me just turn it down a little bit, just tiny bit.
Okay. Okay, is that better?
Perfect.
Okay. All right, do you have Facebook up on your computer?
No, I can do that now.
No, don't put it up.
Okay, don't?
No, because then we'll have this echo on here.
Okay.
Let me make sure I don't have it up. I don't think so. Nope, don't have it. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Okay, there we go. Okay, better?
Yes.
Only thing is we can't see Facebook questions or nothing, so
That's okay.
it's okay. I thought about it. I was like, I should have got my tablet because I could watch one of those on there, but it's okay. We're going to do this thing.
You know what? We look so pretty.
Me too, right? Oh my goodness. I am so glad to be on here having this conversation with my beautiful sis, Latasha. It is such an amazing time. I am just so grateful to have her even in my life on any capacity because she is such a beautiful, sweet spirit. And I felt that when I first met her, like what, 2 years ago or something? It's been a minute.
Probably 3 or 4 years.
Oh my goodness, it's been a minute.
Yeah, because I've been seeing your name for years and wanted to reach out, but wasn't sure how.
Right. And that happens, especially in the online space, because, you don't know. People are very strange and you don't know. And sometimes so we're not even going to go there. But we are talking about the healing power in sharing our story. Because Latasha and I have both shared stories, on our life. And we've both been very vulnerable in our shares. And we know that it is such a process when you write. And as a book coach, she's going to tell you how she helps people, with that and in that process, because, people think that just book coaching is about just helping people to write. But she actually helps people to heal and to transform their life through writing. And I'm just so grateful that, she's in my world.
And it's a blessing because you're a healer.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
You put hands on people.
Yeah.
You speak life over people.
I do.
You're just in the room and you're healing by being in the room.
Yeah.
So you're an answer to my prayer. Because although I love the tangible books, I'm a practical person. I love to have a product.
Yes.
But there's another side that I'm tapping into.
Yes.
Which is my spiritual side.
Yeah.
And you're helping me with that.
Oh my God, that means so much to me because that is really why I'm here. And it took me a minute to step all the way into it because I had some fears. We are vibrating like a mother. I don't know what's going on with that. But I had some fears and I just was afraid to put myself out there, even though I knew the gifts that I possessed. I knew because my grandmother had imparted these things into me as a young child. I mean, I've been laying hands on people since I was 3 years old. So I knew that it was something. And I ran from that call for decades.
Yeah.
Ran. I mean, I've been to ministry school and everything, but I ran from that call because I said, I'm not going to do it. I saw people say, oh, you gonna be a pastor. And no, I'm not doing that. But I didn't realize that, this was the journey that I was supposed to take. And what I know is that everything that happens in your life is a part of your life. It's like a development for you. It's like you're going to school, the school of life. And you use each and every part in the area that you're called to be in. And so that, to me, that's amazing, because I think about you as a teacher of all those years, teaching the churn. And now you are doing what you want to do and what you love doing, which is helping people to, have their finished products, their books in their hand. And that is, to me, that's remarkable. I just, oh my God, I just love it. Love it.
Thank you. You said children.
The children.
Man, I do miss the children. I do.
Do you really?
I'll be honest with you. The 20 years that I taught, I enjoyed talking to those young people.
Yeah.
And they listened to me.
Yeah.
I was one of those teachers that they would bring their friends to come in at lunchtime. Miss Jimerson, let me tell you something about what they're going through. See, she has a boyfriend and da-da-da-da-da, all the tea.
Yeah.
And it was okay because they trusted me.
Yeah, because you were there to impart into them.
But I told them, though, if there's something that I have to report, I will report.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to report.
Right.
But this is a safe space, and you can tell me what you need to tell me, because I'm going to be honest and vulnerable with you about my life.
Right.
And I will tell them when I was dating in high school, and they walked away from that conversation like, Miss Jimerson. But they didn't judge me.
Yeah.
See, so we had that.
And the thing is, you think about it, a lot of kids don't have anybody to talk to. A lot of kids won't even talk to their parents.
Yes.
They're scared to talk to them, or the parents, are abusive in some way. I mean, so they needed you. So to me, I believe that God placed you there for that time and that season. God said, these kids need somebody, and I can relate to that, because that's exactly how I did when I worked in nursing. I had people that said, you are an angel. And I knew I was, because I knew that God would drop me in different places to work just to be there for some of those people that didn't have anybody and couldn't talk to anybody, and nobody was listening to them. And some of the nurses, I mean, I'm just going to say it, some of them are so hateful still. They didn't, they couldn't talk to them. And so sometimes God would drop me in places. And I realized that because I worked so many different places. I never think I worked someplace 10 years one time, but I worked different floors and different areas and all kinds of stuff. But that's about the longest. After that, I mean, I think I worked one place for 6 years, but I also did the same thing, floated around, did different things. But typically 2 years is my time. And I know when it comes to the end of it, it's the end of it. It's time for me to go. And I would tell them that, because they would say, oh, we wish you don't leave. And I was like, let me tell you, this is not, what I'm supposed to do. I said, I'm here, as a gift to you, because God sent me here. I said, now, when my assignment is over, then it's time for me to go.
That's a sign of maturity when
Yeah.
it's time for you to get off the bus.
Yes.
This is my stop.
Yes. Exactly. This is my stop.
This is where we
pull the cord.
This is where we part ways.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that in relationships.
Yes, it is.
It's hard to do that with a job, with a career.
Yes.
With a business, with clients.
Yes. because you want to love on your client, because you love your, I don't know about you, but I love my clients. I think
Yeah.
they're, most of them are just sweet people, and and so you at this place where you're like, okay, well, it's time for you to go. It's almost like going to the next grade. Okay, you've already finished sixth grade or seventh grade or fifth grade or whatever grade it is, and now it's time for you to go, to another place.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, yeah, all right. And it's difficult in the same way with like even friendships, I notice.
Mhm.
Because there are people that, were in my life years ago that are not anymore. And it was just because it was time. I mean, I was going a different direction. They were going a different direction. And, they couldn't maybe understand where I was going. And I refused to have to be validated,
Yeah.
and to me, it was some of the most difficult, because I was like, man, I've been friends with this person for 15 years or whatever. And, it was just time to make that change. And it can be difficult. It can be.
How did you come up with that conversation, or did you even talk about it? Did you just
Okay, so for some, I just didn't talk about it. I just kind of just didn't, just didn't answer the phone when they called. Some of them I just blocked. I was like, I can't, especially if it was an online thing. But for people like I had a good friend that I was friends with, and then I realized later it really wasn't even like that. I realized that in a lot of ways I was being used, and I didn't see it, because I love this person so much. It was a friend person, and I just had to tell her, I said, I just can't do this anymore. I said, I love you. I said, but because she started pushing my boundaries and, different things. And it was crazy because it was after I met my husband, and I felt like a jealousy or something. And I couldn't figure it out because I don't do jealousy at all. I don't even, to me, that's not a vibration that I can be in. I've never been that way. If you got something I want, I need to find out how you got it, if you want to share, that kind of thing. But I don't have a jealous bone in my body. And I couldn't understand because she had been with me through so much. We had been friends for over a decade. And she had been with me through my first divorce, well, my only divorce. But she'd been with me through my divorce. I was with her through hers. We helped each other with our kids, different times. I mean, just close like that, like sisters. But when that thing, it's almost like I could feel a flip, and I couldn't understand that because I'm so happy. And why wouldn't you, as my friend, be happy for me? I couldn't get that.
I got a confession.
You got a confession?
Confession.
Confession time.
You said jealousy, so I got the tea.
Mm-hmm.
Put your pinky up. I got the tea. You got the tea, sis. I got the tea, bro. If there's any bros on here, I got the tea for you.
Christopher.
Hi, Christopher.
How you doing?
Oh, hilarious, Christopher. 4566. Okay. So jealousy is one of the things I've been working on in myself. So I'm so glad that you have not dealt with that, because that's why you and I click, because you helped me develop in areas where I need to develop.
Yeah.
So I have always had daddy issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So every relationship I've ever been in romantically, I have felt insecure.
Wow.
Okay. Because not only was I not raised with my father, he never raised me. But when it was time for us to communicate, when I started having children, he reached out.
Gotcha.
But whenever I reached out, he didn't have time.
Yeah.
And I always had a chip on my shoulder because he went and raised a whole nother family.
I know that one.
And I was just
like
over
out there. Yeah.
So every time I had a boyfriend and I felt the slightest bit like I wasn't the chosen one, I had a problem.
Yeah. Well, you don't even realize that would affect you in that way, but I can see it as you're talking about it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Every time that little girl would bubble up inside of me,
Yeah.
start having a little trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I date good looking men.
I know what you mean. Me too.
So
I tell people, I said, I do a lot of things, but ugly ain't one of them. I mean, I
I
don't have
gotta have
broke, you know.
I
I
gotta have
have broke and
somebody.
boorish.
I gotta have somebody that matches my intelligence,
Absolutely.
matches my beauty,
Energy.
matches my energy. You gotta bring it.
Yeah, I agree.
But here's what happens though with these good looking men.
Uh-huh.
They get a lot of attention. And so for me, it's always been an issue with, well, you spent a little bit too much time with her. What you looking at on your phone? I was that chick.
Right.
I had to deal with that in my last marriage.
Yeah.
So I understand now how to take ownership of that and call it what it is.
Yeah.
Jealousy, insecurity,
Yes.
rooted in daddy issues.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Have you resolved that for yourself?
It's still being resolved now.
Gotcha. I
Because
feel
I'm still dating and I'm still talking to people about this issue.
Yeah.
And it's like I never had friend guys before, but now I do.
Yeah.
Because now I understand you can have a friend guy.
Yeah.
But I was raised being told, stay the hell away from the boys.
Uh-huh.
So I took heed to that. So I never had any friend guys until now.
Yeah. I think that for me, I think I always used to blur the line with that. Like I have a young man that we've been friends for a few decades, but we blurred the lines in there. But we were friends. I mean, you know, even today, he's a person, you know, I could call if I needed to talk to somebody or whatever, because he knows me from like high school, you know, and
Yes.
that's almost 40 years. So it's like, you know, but we blurred the lines, you know.
And that happens. And
Yeah, I
you know,
used
we
to do it quite regularly. I mean, I would, yeah. And it's a whole ass thing, but it's one of those things. To me, it was a growth process as well. But you know, when you talked about the daddy issues, I can relate because I felt like, now I was raised by the father that raised me, married my mother and adopted me and all that. And I love him. And that's the one I call dad. Okay. If I talk about my daddy, that's what I'm talking about. The other one is my biological, and I have a relationship with him now. But I always felt like I was the outcast, you know, like I was an afterthought. You know, like, okay, he went and he had all these other kids, you know, mom, it was just me between him and my mother. Now my mother had other kids and all that stuff, but that man treated me as if he birthed me.
yeah.
You know, but my own was like, you know, and so I believe that it affected my relationship with my first husband, because I hung on for so long because I didn't want, you know, my children to deal with the divorce aspect and all that, you know, because that was a whole other thing. I was young when they divorced, and I don't even know, to be honest, to this day, I don't know how old I was when they actually divorced, because nobody talked to me.
Yeah.
Nobody said nothing, you know, whatever. It's almost like my mother just cut his ass out the family portrait and was like, you know, he gone, that kind of thing. And that's how I felt. And then, you know, like later on, it's an issue that I actually had been resolving as well, because I said, you know, I don't want to feel that way. I said, but what I did was I placed boundaries on myself, because, you know, I'm nobody's fucking afterthought. And I just made up my
That part.
mind that no, I'm not that. I love you, but I'm not your afterthought. And I'm not going to be chasing after you, because that was how I felt. Like I'm the one chasing after relationship, with these people, but I'm not doing that no more. I was like, no boundaries, but that was a growth process, so I understand that. And you don't realize how it affects you until it does, or until you start that healing process. Right.
And also, you said process.
Yeah.
Your process could be 30 years.
Oh my God, say that. So
It
it
could
ain't
be
like
40
tomorrow.
years.
It's not like you decided you got the memo, and then all of a sudden, bing, it's changed.
It could be 50 years, it could be 5 years, it can be 3 weeks.
Yeah. Everybody's process is different.
You only know when you start bumping up against people.
Mm-hmm. And you start feeling the triggers.
That's what's messed up. Because you can destroy a lot of relationships because you didn't know that you were triggered.
Yeah.
So
you didn't know you were hurt.
You didn't know it was still there. It was deep. Like you said, have you resolved it? Oh, I just had a therapy session yesterday.
And that's a blessing.
Yeah, I have 2 people that I go to for my mental health right now.
That's a blessing.
That are hired professional people. And then I have friends like you.
I think that's a blessing, just because, typically in our culture, people don't embrace that. And we need to.
Say that.
Especially our culture, because of all the all the trauma that we have gone through, even in our generations, because we are still dealing with that stuff. We're still dealing with the Middle Passage. We're still dealing with the fact that some of our own people sold us. We're still dealing with all of those things, and the things that we have to deal with on a day-to-day and a daily constant basis. We're still dealing with the white privilege stuff. We're still dealing with all of that. So on top of that, these other things are like extra, so I truly believe that people need that. Personally, when I got divorced, I think that I credit her for saving my life and saving me from going to prison, because I was going to kill that man. That's how hurt I was. I was planning it, girl. I was trying to figure out how I could do it and get away with it. But I went and talked to this girl. I think I had 4 or 5 sessions, and that was enough for me. And that helped me to move past that. You know what I mean? But I'm wholeheartedly for that. And I wish that we would wake up as a culture and say, you know what? I need to go talk to somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. And it don't have to be your mama.
Right. Yeah. You said jealousy. So that opened up another wound. Because it's the jealousy rooted in daddy issues. And I have a friend who, her and I was hanging out for a year. And then I had to back it up. Not because of her, but because I was being triggered by her constantly talking about her new boyfriend.
Yeah.
I got jealous.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Because you said, why not me, right?
And I said, once again, I wasn't chosen.
Right.
Once again, she's happy, she's sharing. And then it also became, that was the only thing we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Was her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then when she asked me about my situation, it was like, it ain't quite as fun over here. Can I be real?
Yeah. Be real.
Quite as cool over here. So don't ask me about my situation. That's how it became. So I said, you know what? I got an attitude problem. Let me distance myself from her to protect her feelings.
Yeah.
Because I got an attitude problem and I need to deal with me right now.
See, and that's mature if you think about it. Because a lot of people don't. Because like I said, my friend didn't. I had to do that thing because I was like, I would start feeling contracted in my stomach and stuff. And it was, when I would just see the message on the phone or her calling, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it. And I was like, I just can't, because I don't understand it, because I don't come from that paradigm. You know what I mean? And I was like, how could she begrudge me my happiness when she knows what I went through?
Yes.
She knows that.
Can she just be happy for me?
Just be happy for me. But I realize now that she probably had her own issues.
Yes.
And she actually dealt with some crazy stuff, and I was actually trying to help her with it. But to me, it was almost like she would get angry with me for trying to help her with that.
That part.
And I was like, oh no, see, I ain't got time for this him. No. I am no. Don't have time. Not gonna do it. Done. I'm out.
We talked about this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got like 4 girlfriends from high school.
Oh, that's a blessing.
Yeah. It's been one of them. I think I was 12. I'm gonna turn this sound down because it's starting to really echo.
Me too. I was like, I don't know what that's about, because we don't have Instagram on anywhere else.
Okay.
Maybe that's better.
We were friends. We've been friends since she was 11 and I was 12.
Oh, so about 30 years or so, right?
It's over 30 years because I'm 47 and she's 46. Man, we are so tight right now.
That's a blessing.
I mean, we're on the phone. Girl, I love you. I love you. Every phone call.
Yeah.
Voice clipping, checking in. However, it wasn't always like this.
Yeah. So y'all stood the test of time.
Because there were years, 2, 3, 4 years, when we were in relationships that were less than ideal.
Yeah.
And we didn't want each other to see the bullshit we were putting up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were not connecting because we have that so much love, that sisterly love, to where we always protected each other.
Yeah.
And so when we started dating, getting married, having children, getting in the career, getting busy, there were times where 5 years would fly by and we wouldn't talk.
Yeah.
And so as women, even in my community with my book coaching, I mostly service women. It's the majority women over 40 like me, and especially women of color.
Yes.
Because we need a voice. We have to give birth to that voice.
We have to, because so many people try to suppress it.
Exactly.
That's the thing that I do, because and it's funny because my mother actually told me yesterday I had a dream. And she told me, and I asked her, I sent her a message and I said, what were you trying to tell me in this dream? So she was like, she's like, I feel like you have opened up and you are sharing. She said, but I feel like you're still holding back in some areas, and I said, You know what? You're right. Because, we hold back when some of the things that we say seems controversial to what other people think, and it's that and the third. And so I was like, okay, I got that. So that's something that I immediately started working on, because I knew, I kind of, you kind of sort of know, but you think that you're, speaking your truth and all this stuff, but then you realize that, there's so much more depth and there's so much more that you came here to say. So I was like, okay, all right. So when she said it, I was like, it was almost like, girl, you still hiding a little bit, so now I'm like, no, not doing no more hiding. Got to come on out of the closet.
And I'm glad you said closet, because that's literally the name of my first book. Like, Secrets is called Secrets from My Closet.
Oh, wow. Oh, I like that.
That's where I went to cry myself to sleep every night. Before I got heavy into therapy.
Wow.
This was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I was telling myself a lot of lies.
Yeah, when I met you, you was, and I knew that, but who I am is I'm not that person to bring you out. I'm just a
Yeah.
person to be here to support you when you're ready.
Yep.
When
And
you're
that's
ready.
the thing, I appreciate you because we just did Straight Out of Savannah. What month was that?
Sometime last year. I don't know.
I think it was
Like August or September or something.
It must have been September because I'm still not divorced. I'm still in the middle of the divorce process right now.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
But so people know where I'm at right now in my development. The last time Tammi and I had that talk on her podcast, I was in a whole different place than I am right now. My whole hair was different. You see my hair?
Girl, your hair is beautiful.
Different. See my face? I'm gonna keep my glasses off.
Look, now if I could be jealous, that's what I would be jealous of.
What, my hair?
I want to do that thing so bad, but I'm just not. I don't think I'm ready yet. That is a transformation, and it's beautiful.
This is brand new because
you're brand new.
Yeah, I'm finally the woman that I wanted to be when I grow up. I'm finally, this is when someone meets me, this is my hair. Like I do wear makeup.
Right.
Sometimes, but not a lot. And I do wear fake nails sometimes, but not a lot. Because now I'm 47. I want people, when they come up to see me, I want them to see
you.
These are my eyelashes.
Yeah.
These are my boobs.
Yeah.
That's my butt. I have a lot of imperfections. Okay. I want you to learn me.
Yes. I'm telling you, I got these nails because of this wedding I went to. That's the only reason. Because I typically just do my own nails and don't worry about it because I feel the same way. I'm like, no, I don't have anything to prove to anybody.
Yep.
I am who I am. And that is a good thing, and I tell people, I say, I love me some me. I love everything about me. And I don't care who doesn't, but I do. I'm like, I love me some me, but that was a process that I had to get to.
Yes.
Because you know how that can be. People beat you down and they say things, and and I remember my ex said something to me one time. He said, well, you just done put on so much weight. And I thought to myself, well, I birthed all your babies. And when I met you, I was 17 years old. And of course, I was probably 102, 105 pounds then. Nothing but tits and ass. I said, but you know what? I birthed all your babies. I said, you stress me the hell out. What you want? And I was just, I thought about that thing because I did so much mirror work, so much looking in the mirror. I mean, literally looking in the mirror naked and telling myself how much I love me. That was the part of the first healing that I did.
Yeah.
And that was actually something that moved the needle for me, because I always thought I was beautiful. It wasn't really about that. It was just all of that, because even though you say, oh, well, that's just words. And he just said that or whatever, but you internalize that stuff, regardless of whether you do or not. You internalize it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, all right.
That's and how many years were you married? People need to know this.
20 years.
Okay. And how did you know it was time to?
Okay, so I had been praying for a year before he left me, and I was so grateful. I think I could have did a backflip if I could. Because I had been praying. I asked God, I said, because I didn't want to be, I was leaving the church at the time, and I didn't want to be wrong in the eyes of God, because they told you, oh, well, it ain't no reason for divorce and all kinds of stupid stuff that religion tells you. And I said, I don't want to be wrong in the eyes of God. I want to be right in the eyes of God. And so I just started praying. I said, I'm not happy. I don't even love this man. I don't care to be in the same room with him. Typically, we used to do a lot of pretending. We would go to church and people would say, oh my God, you guys, because you had we had the two kids, the girl and the boy. And then I had my bonus son. he would go, we had these kids, and then we had the house, and we had the big house with the columns, 2,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, all of this. It looked like Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler was gonna walk out of our house. That's how that thing
Say
looked.
that.
I love
Say
that house, right?
Say that.
Loved that house, loved it. But but a house is not a home.
Ooh, wee.
When it ain't no love there, and the thing is even when I sat my kids down and I said, we're getting divorced, they looked at each other. It was the funniest thing when I think about it. They looked at each other, girl, and they started talking amongst themselves like I wasn't there. Oh, well, we didn't hear the on the wall. Oh, and then they say stuff like, but you guys, don't argue. I said, no, we never did. I said, that was not something, I don't like arguing. It was not something that we did, and if we ever did have any little arguments, it would be, behind closed doors in the bedroom, not in front of them. So we presented this picture, and even we went to church, people were like, y'all get divorced? Oh my God.
If it's happening to you,
it could happen to me.
There ain't no hope for me. Like
I lost friends like that too, because it's almost like I had a disease and they got scared they were gonna catch it. And I was like, oh my God, but you know what? It opened my eyes and I started seeing a lot of things. I started really seeing, at that time, and I didn't even realize, I started seeing the energy behind people, the energy behind the words. I started feeling it, and I didn't even know what I was feeling. I didn't know, because I wasn't in that space at that time. But I realized now I was seeing the energy, and I was like, wow, and I would just back up, like, okay, all right, because
so how long were you unhappy out of the 20 years?
If I had to quantify it, I would say maybe 10.
10 years you were unhappy.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
When I think about it, it corresponded with the burnout from the career.
Oh.
Those went hand in hand, I think.
You just clarified something for me, because for me, it was like 5 to 6 years. And that was the burnout for me. Burnt out on the job, the marriage, life, my body, my soul, my spirit.
Yes.
Hated myself.
Yeah. All that. And didn't do no loving, on myself, no self-love, and just really, to be honest, I truly believe I was abusive to my body.
Yeah, me too.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah. I was eating until midnight.
See, and for me, I was working myself to death, because I would work. I mean, it was nothing for me to work 16, 20 hours in a day.
Wow.
When I think about my kids, I am so grateful to God, because I did quality time with my kids, not quantity.
Yeah.
I mean, there was days when they would see me, because I would make sure I was there so that, I could make sure homework was done and all these things. And, and then, when they went to different stuff, like my son was an actor for probably from 6th grade up. Before that, he did soccer and basketball and all that stuff. But we would go from like different plays, and I would have to take him to practices and this and that and all that. And then they did the rap team at the church once they got older. So, before they were driving and stuff like that, I have to drop them to those practices and, all that. And they did music. And then, my daughter did whatever she did. So I would have to be back and forth, dropping, picking, so I did all that stuff. But I say that I did quality time with them more than quantity. And I thank God that, nobody's in prison. They're all doing well, taking care of their themselves. I mean, all of that. And I have to thank God, because I worked, and I would tell them, I said, I got to go to work, because you like to have Nikes and shit on your feet. Well, how you think they're going to come in the house? Because you can't just go to the store and steal them. It ain't like now where, if you don't sell $500, they don't prosecute you. And all these different, like my son did soccer for 6 or 7 years. And I promise you, I'll never forget, I bought him a pair of soccer shoes, like when the season was out, so I could pay like $20, $25 for him. And then his foot grew. So he never even wore those brand new shoes that I bought him. I had to give them away to somebody.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had to buy some more, and things like that, but when I think about it, I'm so grateful because, they turned out so well. My kids are, beautiful. They're woo-woo kids too, beautiful spirits.
Yeah.
And, but I worked. That was to me, that was my drug, because if we were having problems in the house, I would just go to work. And I would say, I can't deal with this right now. I got to go to work. I got to go
So
lay down
you
for
were
a couple of hours.
a workaholic.
Yeah.
So for me, I was diagnosed bipolar in 2007.
Okay.
So I've always been a little bit off balance.
Right.
So I was a workaholic, a sexaholic,
Yeah, that too.
and a foodaholic.
That too, if I could, I said I work
And
so much sometimes I
so
couldn't.
I was using everybody and everything to medicate myself.
Yes. Yes.
And that's when I realized, oh my God, when I started going to the hospital for different issues,
Yes.
I was like, whoa, what is going on? Because I'm a pretty excellently healthy person.
Right.
So if I'm going to the hospital, it's an emotional, psychosomatic symptoms is what I learned from reading. But I didn't know until I knew.
I was going to say we don't, because I actually just did a video just before we came on here about how disease is the result of unforgiveness. And typically it's because we don't forgive ourselves. And I can say that because we've talked about this last year. I was sick as a dog from probably December 21 until just this January, until I finally surrendered and said, you know what, I gotta surrender this, and I didn't even realize, because I've never really been sickly either. I've only ever had like female problems, because I had endometriosis since I was 12. So that's really the only thing that I've really battled is that. And so I never really had no issues, and everything that came out, every new treatment and stuff over the years I would do, like I did ablation, I did different things. They did the DNC when I was, I think 17 or something. So, I had different things that I did for that, but that was really the only thing. Otherwise, no. And then all of a sudden, I got problems with my stomach, and then I got, my shoulder froze, and just one thing after another, COVID, and now long COVID. And it was like, what in the world? And it was almost like God was speaking to me and I wasn't listening. And I think that they're on a level, when I think about it now, I don't think I even forgave myself even after all of that. Like I forgave my ex, and I'm one of those people, I'm quick to forgive other people because I don't play games about holding on to that. But I think that a lot of times we forgive other people, but we don't forgive ourselves. And we hold ourselves to the wall because of how we allowed somebody else to treat us.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because
say that again louder for the people in the back.
We hold ourselves to the wall because of how we allowed other people to treat us, because we allow that stuff. Yeah. And of course there's always reasons why we do it. But the point is, we still do it, because I truly believe like blame is like one of the lowest vibrations, and I don't even try to do it. Because what's the point of it? It don't solve no problems. Nope. And it don't even matter, because even if something happened to you and somebody did it to you, you still have to fix whatever it is.
Yeah.
So why even focus on that?
You're responsible for your response.
Yes. Yes. And my mom always used to say, you can either act or you can react. And I never actually really understood that until I was grown. But she always used to say that. She said, you can act or you can react. You choose. Yeah.
Ooh, man, I could talk to you for hours. Y'all see why it's so easy to get along with this woman? It's so easy just to relax and kick back and talk for hours, because I prayed for people who are healers.
Oh, wow.
I did. I prayed for friends 5 years ago. I prayed for new people to come into my life who see me for me with my short hair.
Yeah,
I prayed for that. I prayed for people. You see me, you hear me, you support me.
Yeah. And
You're
I
there
have,
for me.
you know, I'm it's like when we met, it was something because we had like this long conversation the first time we met, remember? We had it on Messenger. And then I think we talked on the phone, you know, and it was like, wow, I was like, okay, because I just prayed for genuine people.
Yes.
You know, that's what I prayed for because so many people are so not genuine and it's like, oh, you know, but I pray for genuine people. You know, I was like, I want genuine connections, you know, people
Yes.
that truly like if I say, girl, you know, I'm struggling with this, or, you know, do you know anybody that, you know, blah, 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 or whatever, you know, just connections. And I pray for that. And I'm just like so blown away how, you know, different people have shown up in my life, including you. It's like, wow. So we're gonna have to do this show every week.
We do. I'm totally all about it. I'm open and available to collaborations. And anybody who's watching this, I know they're probably thinking, well, dang, they're just having a conversation like we're not here.
Especially on
we see
Facebook.
y'all. We see y'all. We love y'all. Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook, TikTok, wherever this is going to show up, your podcast, my YouTube.
Yeah.
We want to demonstrate to y'all that this is how we bond. Like
Yeah.
this is how you create a relationship. This is how you build a business. This is how you build a family. This is how you build a career. This is how you build a life. I didn't start becoming really successful until I started telling the truth.
That part.
Okay. When I showed up in my skin with my voice,
Yes.
people started coming.
Yes.
When I wasn't speaking up for myself in my personal relationships,
Yes.
my energy was different.
I mean, even your color, girl, I wanted to tell you that. Even your color, it's like your skin is like brighter. You know what I mean? It's almost like what is the word? Your aura. I can see the difference in your aura. Just yeah. I mean, it's like it's powerful. And the
Thank
thing
you.
is, people don't realize that. You know, they don't realize that just you opening your mouth and speaking your truth.
Yeah.
You know, it is going to change so many things in your life.
And I want to give a marketing tip too, because a lot of my authors come back when their books are finished and we graduate them. And I call it Happy Authors Day, like your birthday.
Oh, nice.
They leave and they go on and they do big things. And then they come back and say, well, I need to know a little bit about the marketing and the promotion and the sales because the sales drop. The sales always drop.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just life.
Well, another thing too is you're not always constantly promoting. That's one thing too. You know,
life happens. People die.
Mm-hmm.
You get sick.
Yeah.
You know.
You get
But
tired.
the thing is, yeah, you get tired of promoting. But the thing is, what I love people to know, and I just posted this morning, people are just now discovering the books that I've written. I have 8 books that I've written. Two of those books are collaborations with other authors and public speakers.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. So I've been planting seeds for about 5 to 6 years. I've been publishing for about 5 to 6 years. I've been working on myself for that long. So people are just now discovering who I am right now.
Yeah, same.
So it's been, those of you that are out there that have been doing your business for 5 weeks, bruh.
You almost want to say, just grow up.
I used to do this. I would be like,
nobody bought my book.
I made
I've been
20 phone calls. I made 20 phone calls. I don't have any clients. It takes a lot more than 20 phone calls. It takes a lot more than 5 weeks. You have to be consistent. You have to show up and you have to be who you are.
And you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah. Even if you don't feel good, you get up and you're not in your best skin, you better do them affirmations. You better look yourself in the mirror. Like Tammy said, you better be naked. Yeah. Get in that mirror and say, whatever you need to say, and do fake it till you make it. I do believe in fake it till you make it. I do believe in that. Some people say, nah, whatever. I faked a lot of orgasms.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I faked a lot of things, a lot of happy, joy.
Yes.
And I will be honest, that helped me through that stage of life.
Yes.
So if you got to fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it, but plant those seeds, because 5 years from now, people will discover you. And honestly, I'm a history teacher. Don't think that everything in your legacy is supposed to happen now. A lot of stuff happens 50 years after you dead, boo.
That part.
So you better do this for your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and everybody else in the world who's going to live in 100 years. That's what you better do this for. Don't do this because you want to make money now. Ain't no now money.
Look at Martin. Martin's dream still ain't happened yet. How many years ago was that? Martin died the year that I was born. His dream still ain't happened yet.
1968.
Still waiting on it.
He was 39. He wasn't even 40 yet.
Right? And his
but
dream
he started early. He went to college at 15. A lot of people don't realize this. He went to college at 15 and he was a pastor by 26. How many pastors do you know that are 26? And he died at 39. So every day he was planting seeds and he was working on his vision and he was pushing his dream, and it's still not quite. So, boo, you've been working on your business for a year.
Mm-hmm.
You better keep plugging away and don't quit your 9 to 5 until you have a little nest egg. Don't do it.
Wait. Unless it's killing you.
Right. And see, the thing about me, what I did was I was already building the business on the side of my teaching career.
Right.
So when I quit my teaching job, people were like, what in the world? I was like, I didn't even say a word because they didn't know what I was doing. See, I don't operate and tell everybody what I'm doing.
Okay, say that part. Because sometimes people talk too much.
No, I don't tell people everything. I am an author and I do talk about my personal life. But when I was building my business, I wasn't telling people what I was doing. I was going to work every day as a classroom teacher, shutting my mouth, doing my work, making a difference in the classroom, and raising my family at the same time. I wasn't bitching, moaning, and complaining unless you were reading my journal, then, so, when I decided, when I decided to get a divorce, people were shocked, like, we didn't even know. You weren't supposed to know because it's none of your damn business. That's why. You weren't supposed to know, boo.
Is that me? I knew.
Well, yeah. Some people are very intuitive and they pay attention to energy. I had a couple clients that knew. And they were like, yeah. But you know what? At the same time, I was still coaching. I was still doing my job. They were still getting the results because I know how to turn things on and turn things off real quick.
Right. And see, that's the point too. It's like, okay, because no, you just keep pushing. That's what I say. Keep pushing, and to me, I don't mean that in like a hustle kind of way. Because I'm really not even with that hustle stuff. I'm really like in the flow because I really just can't. I can't do it.
Ease and flow is a thing, y'all.
Yes, it really is.
That's the thing I love about you got this Zen Buddha energy that's like, I was raised under the whole, you should have 3 jobs type of Jamaican mentality.
Me?
You should have 3 jobs.
Where do you think I got that from? My mama.
I had to 5 years ago.
Oh, wait a minute. Shout out. It's my mama's birthday today. Happy birthday, mama, if you're watching.
Hey, mama. What's mama's name?
Sarah Yancey.
Hi, Sarah Yancey.
Happy birthday, mom.
Thank you for giving birth to this beautiful queen.
But I was, that's where I got that from. Same thing. And the other part, you can't never depend on a man.
Right. Oh,
So you better get your own stuff and do your own thing and take care of yourself.
And what about this one?
Yeah.
What'd she say? It was just right here. She said, oh, if you want something done right, do it your damn self.
There you go.
Oh, that got me in so
I'm
much
playing around
trouble.
with other people.
That got me in so much trouble. Oh my God. Trying to carry things on my back by myself. Like my classroom, I learned as a teacher, I can't carry all these books in here. I gotta let these students help me because sometimes they do want to help. And sometimes these boys, when I taught high school, these football players was like bigger than my daddy. And I'm like, why am I
doing this?
So they happily would help with books and moving chairs and tables. And when I started,
Because all you got to do is ask.
Oh my God.
You know, it's just like the Bible say, you have not because you ask not.
I was like, wow, this is what help looks like. I don't have to do it all myself.
What? It's not all on me.
And then when I started coaching and I had a team, I was like, I don't have to be the whole editor. I don't have to be the developmental editor, the line editor, the formatter, the publisher, because see, I did all that for myself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what we do.
The marketer, the promoter, the cover designer, you know, those pieces go out to the team.
Yeah, because, you know, I tell people this, I said, because people ask me, I said, I'm a writer. I'm not all those other things. Now I have, you know, the ebook I did create the cover or whatever, but, you know, but like like this book, oh no, somebody else created that cover. I'm like, I'm not, and this is the multi-author book I did. Somebody created that cover, you know, but I was like, I'm not all those things. And I tell people ask, and I say, they said, well, how did you, and this is the funny part. People will ask when they haven't even written the book yet. Well, how do I get it edited? How do I get a book cover? I said, well, have you started on the book yet? Well, no, then what do you need on that for anyway? I said, do a cover. I said, let somebody do a mock-up cover for you so that you can start posting and talking about it. I said, but the rest of that stuff, you ain't got to worry about till you actually get the book written.
So now we on my favorite, this is my favorite segment right here. You just lit me all the way up because I'm like,
and I got about 3-4 minutes. I got about 3-4 minutes because I got a client session at 12.
I know. What time is it? Ooh, yeah. Okay. So the thing I want to say before we get off of here, y'all, is that we just sat here and told a whole bunch of stories about ourselves, you know, our health, our marriages, our careers, all that. We could talk all day.
Yeah.
The thing I want everybody to know is when you start working on yourself and you really start trying to heal, there's going to be a lot of dirt that comes up.
Ooh, say that.
And my therapist just told me this yesterday. She said, what is it from your childhood that you're still allowing to define you? And I said, ooh, I have one of those. She's like, for real, direct in your face. She don't hit me with the feather. She hit me with the belt. So yesterday I said,
that's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly. I said, you know what? She's the best therapist I've ever had in 20 years of therapy. That's 20 years. She's unearthing. She's plucking, and she's really pissing me off, if I want to be honest. And she asked me yesterday, she said, did I say anything today to trigger you and make you mad? I said, actually, no. She goes, that's how I'm going to end every session. I said, yeah, because you be poking at me. When she asked that question, what is it about your childhood that still defines you as an adult? I said, I can't answer it right now. I have to journal about it and I'll be back. Right? So we hung up. And so next week, my homework assignment is to give her the answer. I done already prayed and meditated and got the answer. And I don't like it. But I'm going to give it to y'all on the next one.
Exactly.
He pulled that thing out of me and I meditated. When I meditate, God tells me the answer. When I shut it down and I'm listening, God tells me the answer. And then I'm like, oh, now I got to do something about it.
Yes. Now,
So
that's the part.
yeah, I
Because
was just gonna
he'll
say,
give us the answers, but many times we don't want to, we don't want to do nothing.
and that's why we're doing this, because there's a lot of people out there watching us right now that
Yeah.
have these stories to tell. And as we're talking, things are bubbling up inside of them like soda, but they're still gonna push it down and they're not gonna tell it for 5 years, and that's okay. But for those of you that are ready to tell your story,
Yes.
get this stuff out, start healing, start recovering,
Yes.
reach out to me. You
Yes.
can literally Google me. I'm everywhere. Latasha Jimerson, Coach LT. I will coach you through this process, because
Yes.
writing that book the first one was, I didn't write for anybody else other than myself.
Me too.
And I felt like I was pregnant, and I finally let the baby out, and I was
Yes, that part. And with the writing of the book, I mean, it's just such an amazing process. And I'm finding that so many times people want to write the books, but
yeah,
they have so much that they need to heal,
yeah,
that they need to come and work with me so I can help them to heal, so that they can get that shit out, so that they can write these stories and tell
yeah,
it and share it. Because it's like, especially when you've had a lot of trauma.
yeah,
And y'all, trauma can be anything. I mean, trauma doesn't have to be, it's like we were talking about PTSD, my husband and I, and it doesn't have to be just, somebody shooting at you when you're in the war. It could be that you was laying on a ship and you had to listen to, planes landing on the ship, which y'all know that's loud as I don't know what. You know what I mean? It could be that racism is a trauma. Sexism, any of those isms, those are traumas.
Yep.
That you don't even recognize or realize that they're traumas, because people are like, oh, well, have I been through anything? Well, no, I ain't never really been through anything. Yeah, but your mama treated you like a dog, or your daddy treated you like a dog, or you didn't know your daddy, or you didn't know your mama, or, they gave you away when you were a baby or whatever to grandmama, whoever. Those things are traumas.
Yeah. And even the human experience of being born is traumatic, because you're coming out of a birth canal and you're being squeezed.
For sure.
So every human being has been through some kind of trauma. They just don't know it.
Well, they don't, and they don't recognize it. And that's why we're here.
Yeah. That's what keeps us employed and successful, and not having to go to a 9-to-5. That's why we have a job.
Yup. Okay. I was trying to share that out, but I don't know how to do it.
So we're done.
Yes.
Done, right? So
we will let you know. I was gonna say, we'll let you know.
Want to get a hold of you.
You want to get a hold of me? I'm everywhere as well. You can Google me as well. I am on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I am really Tammi Y. Morrison. I'm on YouTube at Tammi Morrison. You can go to my channel. I'm on TikTok at Tammi Morrison. I do a lot of healing videos and meditations and things on my channel on YouTube, and also on TikTok. I do a lot of the short healings. Also on Facebook, I'm Tammi Morrison.
Yeah.
And my business is Unleashing Your True Self. So you can find my business page there as well.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know when we decide to come back and do this. I don't know. You want to do it on Fridays?
We can. Let's talk about it though, because I got a couple of things coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely going to do this on a regular basis, because writing is healing, talking is healing, storytelling is healing.
Yes. And I believe in the impact, because I know that this is, even if people are going to come back and watch the replay, and thank you, replay viewers, because it's so much, it's so healing.
Yes.
And we need that in this world with everything that's going on and all the craziness.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. Look, and loving me. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what it's all about. And I find that, I found over the years that, family ain't always blood.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I
I'm a
have,
professional family creator as a classroom teacher for 20 years.
yeah,
Every single period, first period through sixth period, each period was a different family with different dynamics.
yes,
But I knew how to build trust with every single group.
yeah,
So I don't rely on blood to be my family. I can create a family anywhere I go in the world. I can create a family.
absolutely. Because, we're both places that we're not from.
Right. And God planted me everywhere that I am.
Yeah,
God planted me there.
I agree. Same thing. It's like, okay, well, why are you here? Because people was like, are you from, you got family? And I'm like, no.
Right.
Or
Right.
maybe one person or, and then sometimes, you go places and you don't know why you're really there. And then
Yes.
when you get there, then it becomes apparent after a while. It's like, oh,
Yes.
I'm here, for this particular purpose.
Exactly. You don't know until you pay attention.
Exactly. So again, thank y'all for hanging out with us. Those of you on Instagram, thank you for the love. Those of you that are hanging out with us on Facebook, we'll go back and look at the comments because we couldn't even see Facebook at all.
I don't know who's here, but hey, and I
Yeah.
don't have my glasses on, so I really can't see you. But we love
that's
you, and we'll
okay.
be back. We'll
We
be
do.
back.
We
Stay
do.
tuned, y'all.
And we'll share more, healing through sharing your stories, because I think that is the thing that we're going to do.
Yes. Amen. Thank
Amen.
you.
Yep. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, evening, night, weekend, whenever you see this, because we know that people all over the world are watching this. So you probably watch it in your own time zone. So, just enjoy your day.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye. Hi, this is Tammy. What if you could live your life without being in burnout, without feeling stuck, without feeling extreme irrational fear, without living with autoimmune conditions, without living unfulfilled, without living in fight or flight, without being able to always be on edge, without living in freeze? What if that was possible for you? And one of the things that I do in my healing sessions is I help you to shift from these things into the next great version of yourself. So if this is somewhere that you've been living, then I would advise you to give me a call. Reach out to me. Send me a message. I'm Tammi Morrison all over all social media. My YouTube channel is Tammi Morrison. My business page on Facebook is Unleashing Your True Self. On LinkedIn, I'm Tammi Morrison and Unleashing Your True Self. You can reach out to me via email at Tammi, TAMMI, unleashingyourtrueself@outlook.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.
I know you've been blown away with the amazing value here today. Now go out and inspire the planet. And be sure to send us a message when you're ready to come talk about it on Straight Outta Savannah, Talking with Tammi.